wide before Taylor's last 5, so give us an open Abbey book for 3, and Taylor leads for the first time today.
Good afternoon and welcome here inside Odell Arena on the campus of Taylor University for this afternoon's Crossroads League women's basketball matchup between the Spring Arbor Cougars and the 10th-ranked Taylor University Trojans. Rick Johnston with you, and this is the Marion General Hospital pregame show. Today's matchup pits two teams looking to get back on the winning side of things after Taylor saw a 10-point halftime lead evaporate again on the road at number 6 Marion on Wednesday. They fell in overtime, by a final of 73-66 to the two-time national champs. The Trojans were led in scoring by Kendall Bradbury, who had 20 points. Becca Books also in double figures. She had 18. But the Trojans' woes on Wednesday were much the similar ones of Spring Arbor. Both teams plagued by turnovers in their second Crossroads League games of the year, as Spring Arbor fell at Grace on Wednesday 96-65. The Lancers guard Brooke Sugg went off. She had 40 points in that victorious effort for Grace. Taylor comes in 8-4 overall. They are 0-2 in the Crossroads League. Spring Arbor 3-7 overall. They're 1-1 in league play after defeating St. Francis on the opening night of league action. That was last Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We'll take a break here on the Marion General Hospital pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Jody Martinez. This is the Marion General Hospital pregame show, and this is Taylor Women's Basketball here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to the Marion General Hospital pregame show. Now time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Jody Martinez, before their game today against Spring Arbor. A tough month of November and a long month of November has finally come to a close, with yesterday being the last day of November. How excited are you to see the busy month of November in the rearview mirror?
I think both the coaching staff and the players are excited for December. We had 2 great practices, and I think it's just a mentality of, all right, the grueling schedule's done. Now we can focus on upcoming conference games, and we have one more non-conference game, but that's not till Christmas break. So I think the energy was back. I think mentally they were just ready for a new start, a fresh start. I just challenged them yesterday. We got to find a way to have intensity, but then have fun combined, and that's something maybe that will help us relax. So we focused on intensity on Thursday. We focused on having fun yesterday. Now it's time to put the 2 together for today and start moving forward. But it's a long season. As I told the girls, I mean, we got 16 more conference games. A lot can be done. You went through a tough schedule. You're ranked 10th. You've been, that says a lot to be ranked that high with now we have 4 losses, but the ranking we had 3 losses. So I said, every day is a new challenge. Let's just focus on today, not worry about, what raters say or what the conference standings say.
A tough 2-week stretch in particular. You guys have gone 1-3 in that stretch, but the last 3 games all went to overtime. You were up 26 against Southeastern the day after Thanksgiving. You beat Rio Grande in overtime, and then you had a 10-point halftime lead against Marion on Wednesday night at their place. And obviously they're a very good team. They're 6th in the country. They won 2 national titles. Katie Gerald's a great coach. What's been the difference of why haven't you guys been able to finish in a couple of those games?
Yeah, that's the puzzling piece right now with this group is some of the mental mistakes that lead into, unfortunately, the other team converting on them. I mean, you can have negative spurts, but you can't allow them to capitalize on it. So the turnovers that led to points, then offensive rebounding, and then as I share with the team, it only takes one of you guys to fall apart out of the group of 5 on the court, and then it impacts it impacts everyone. If you mess up the wrong cut, if you make the wrong kind of pass, you put everybody at a disadvantage. It wears you out, and unfortunately, the turnovers that we are having, it's been the main reasons why we're losing our spurts, and so we got to focus on our execution. And these are upperclassmen making these mistakes. That's the confusing, mind-boggling thing. And so I've tried to be intense. I've been negative. I've been positive. I've had a mixture of coaching styles. I've tried different techniques. And, finally they had a team meeting and, hopefully they can put it together. And, the senior leadership's improving and they've gotten a lot better and proud of them. We got to have carryover. I mean, like I said, the last 2 practices is promising. Is the best way I can say it.
The bench had shown a lot of bright spots early on in the season. Their production has been way down here in the last few, and obviously that's a lot of players that either are upperclassmen but haven't played a lot, or they're young players, and obviously they haven't played a lot as well. How do you try to bring them along and so they can give those starters, which have carried a lot of the offensive and defensive load for your team in recent weeks, give them a break? Yeah,
a lot of it's misleading. You can look at the stat sheet and look at the teams we play. The biggest thing is you got to look at the competition. We didn't play tough teams early. The starters built up 30-point leads, and of course the bench comes in. Who wouldn't be comfortable coming in with a 30-point lead? And then it started turning when the starters built up a 20-plus point lead in fourth quarter against IU East, and I got 5 subs in there, and all of a sudden it changed within a minute. You can tell by the confidence in IU East, not our confidence. It felt like I'm not putting the burden on the bench, but it just changed the flow. And that was the Saturday before our conference game with Bethel, and it's been that since that fourth quarter IU East. We've had a lot of inconsistencies from the bench players, not only in games but practice. And what people don't see is what's happening in practice, and the bench is not competing. They're not competing against the starters right now. There's no one pushing if Lacey struggles, no one's showing anything in practice to take her spot. And that's probably been discouraging to me, is like, man, competition is competition. If I'm a bench player, I want to play. I want to bust my butt to prove coach I deserve to be in there, but I'm not seeing it. And like I said, the last 2 days has been different, and hopefully that is a carryover because our starters cannot play those many minutes. Now, we've played very tough teams. I'm a big coach on the flow of a game, and the starters have having good flows. But then when they have their negative flow and I sub a little bit, we're not getting the counterproductivity that we needed because I have subbed when we had leads, and the flow has been disrupted.
Last thing is we catch up with Taylor women's basketball head coach Jody Martinez. Let's look ahead to today's opponent, Spring Arbor. They come in with a sub-500 record, but one of their few wins on the year was against top 20 and top 15 St. Francis out of Fort Wayne to start league play. So obviously a very dangerous team. What makes them so tough?
Well, all five stars will shoot the 3, so that spreads out the offense. So you have to respect that on how you close out. So you almost have one-on-one, which we've worked on this week, believe it or not. We worked on one-on-one defense because we know what's going to face. If we give them confidence early, that's why we're going to have to go man-to-man early. We want to go man-to-man, make sure we can test every shot. But what happened against St. Francis, they scored 70 points against them, and that's a really good day for Spring Arbor. They only averaged 55. And for them to beat St. Francis by 13, it was a remarkable win. But they've kind of tanked since then. So it depends on what Spring Arbor team shows up. That's why I said we have to go out after them early. I think we're ready. I really do. But like I tell the girls, you guys got to do it. You got to do it. So Spring Arbor's starting 5 is their key. We got to get them to their bench.
Jody, thanks for the time and good luck here today against Spring Arbor.
Thank you. See you afterwards.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100, all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com. Let's join our public address announcer, Tanner Huber, with today's starting lineups.
The Cougars are coached by Ryan Frost, who's assisted by Eric Salisbury and Andrew Fagan. And now, fans, get on your feet for the starting line for your Taylor Trojans. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Columbia City, Indiana, number 14, Aubrey Wright. At guard, a 5'7" senior from Crawfordsville, Indiana, number 22, Lacey Garrett. At forward, a 5'11" senior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, number 32, Kendall Bradbury. At guard, a 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 40, Abby Brooks. And finally at guard, a 5'11" junior from Angola, Indiana, number 44, Becca Brooks. Your Trojans are coached by Jody Martinez. He's assisted by Natalie Young and Cassidy Wise.
So the normal starters that Taylor has trotted out there for their last few games, they come in with a 5-1 record here at home, 8-4 overall, 0-2 in Crossroads League play. Spring Arbor 1-2 in true road contests. They are 3-7 overall. They are 1-1 in league action. The coaching matchup today, Taylor led by second-year head coach in his 19th season overall, leading a women's basketball program. It is, of course, Jody Martinez. Spring Arbor led by Ryan Frost in his 8th season. He used to spend some time here when Paul Patterson was the head coach of the men's basketball team as one of Coach Patterson's assistants, and then has been the head man, as we mentioned, up at SAU for the past 7+ seasons. Gabby Barnett for Spring Arbor, Kendall Bradbury for Taylor will jump in the center circle as we get ready to go here on a Saturday afternoon on a doubleheader between Taylor and Spring Arbor. Ball's in the air, tap to the front court for the Trojans, right to Lacey Garrett, and Taylor quickly with the opening possession. Again, they go from left to right. Trojans in the home white uniforms with gold numbers and purple letters. Spring Arbor defends man-to-man in blue. A Bradbury catch-and-shoot three is short, and it's rebounded down low by SAU's Rachel Nelson. First time that SAU will have the ball, they again go from right to left in navy blue with white numbers and yellow letters. Nelson, who had the rebound on the other end of the floor, directs traffic with her right hand, will bounce it to the mid-post. And this is Garnett out all the way to the elbow. Outside Nelson, a catch and shoot straight on three. Will just get in over the top of the front rim and go in for the first points here of the afternoon. A quick three for Spring Arbor as Nelson, who was 3 of 10 in SAU's loss to Grace on Wednesday, hits her first one here. Books has been on fire. This is Becca, and that one's long off the back rim. Bradbury had it. It went off of her hands, and it went off of SAU's players down below. That was Nelson, as it just went off of Nelson's fingertips, and it remains here with Taylor. Becca was 7 of 14 from the floor on Wednesday. She has been shooting. She came in having 3 straight double-doubles last week. She had 18 and 8 on Wednesday. She holds it here on the right side circle. Aubrey Wright comes as an outlet left side high. Taylor with her second possession of the afternoon, down 3-0, and an off-ball foul called against Spring Arbor on a hold. Fouls on Anne-Marie Wright, her first, and the shot clock resets to 30, 59 seconds into quarter one. Taylor with the ball down 3. Right baseline left, bouncing in, left block to Books, trying to pivot away from trouble. She'll shoulder her way in, but she traveled with it as she tried to muscle her way through the defense of Gabby Barnett. So a missed 3, 2 missed threes, and a turnover for Taylor on their first 2 possessions. They trail SAU 3-0. Garrett with light pressure in the backcourt. Jogging to the front is Anne-Marie Wright, the 5'8 sophomore out of Michigan. Near sideline to the senior Ryan Lair. Taylor opens up in their man-to-man defense, and that's what you heard in our pregame conversation with head coach Jody Martinez. Catch and shoot 3, right side is long. The long rebound comes out to the near side, and it's gobbled up by Lacey Garrett. The miss was from Gracie Cabana. High left side to Abby Books, puts it on the deck with a right hand. She'll flip it off to her twin sister Becca. All the way to the corner, Bradbury fakes the 3, defended by Barnett. Outside to B Books, high right side. Pass 2 defenders in front of Bradbury. That one's tapped away by both of them, and Nelson comes up with the steal. A turnover for Taylor on their third possession. They trail 3-0 here early on against SAU. Down low they go to Barnett. Outside the arc, it comes to the far sideline, and Anne-Marie Wright. She's defended by Aubrey Wright, no relation, right over right, and it's a left-hand flip-in for Anne-Marie of SAU. Taylor 0 of 3 to start from the floor, SAU 2 of 3, and they lead 5-0 as Taylor looks for their first points just over 2 minutes into the opening quarter. Taylor has won 15 straight games against Spring Arbor, and they're trying to make it 16 here this afternoon. Books in the near side corner, Lair defends her. Becca up top to Abby. Aubrey Wright open. Now she'll put on the deck. A little drive through traffic. Her right-hand spinner will just miss off the right side rim as she drove right past Cabana. And now Cabana will bring it up the right side of the floor. Spring Arbor with the rock going from right to left in blue. They lead 5-0. Nelson to Cabana. High left side, Anne-Marie Wright defended by Aubrey Wright. Left-hand bounce off to the near side. Cabana was open. Now they go down low. Right-hand shot around Bradbury is good, and Barnett has made it a 7-0 lead for Spring Arbor here with 7:13 to go in the opening quarter. Taylor struggling to find their footing. 2 bad turnovers and 0 of 2 from the floor. Average 0 of 3 from the field to start. Down low to Bradbury. She'll just snake her way through, and then she'll miss an easy right-handed shot as she snuck away from Barnett. The ball pulled off the floor by Ryan Lair of Spring Arbor. Everything going well for the visitors here right now. They lead 7-0, 3 minutes in. Taylor in the man-to-man defense. They defend in white, SAU in blue. They go from right to left to the Cougars, and they lead 7-0 over the 10th-ranked team in the land. Barnett, top of the key with 10 to shoot. Nelson, way outside the right side perimeter. Dribbling in trouble to the corner. Anne-Marie Wright will heave up a 3 from the corner. Hits off the near side rim. Garrett dives on the floor. Taylor's fans look for a foul, and a held ball will keep it here with SAU after the desperation heave from Anne-Marie Wright in the right side corner for Spring Arbor. Garrett went tumbling down to the floor. That's where Taylor, the Trojan faithful down below us, thought there could be a foul against the visitors. Christina Grayson for the first time for Spring Arbor. She replaces Gabby Barnett. Fresh 30 to work with for the visitors. Hand off to Nelson. Step back, 18-foot right side jump shot clean. Nelson scored the first points of the afternoon. Now she has 5, and it's a 9-0 barrage start here for Spring Arbor. Almost 4 minutes into quarter number 1. The Trojans 0 of 4 to start shooting. Becca Books posting up mid-post right. Garrett cannot get it to her as Nelson backs away. Now B Books up top, defended by the shorter Lair. B Books drives, spins, trying to go up and under, step through move. Right hand scoop is good, and get her the foul. So Books took Lair to the rack. A shorter defender, Lair at 5'8", B Books at 5'11". And Taylor, after being held scoreless for the first 3 minutes and 58 seconds, finally on the board on the Becca Books drive and a take to the cup. And Books will miss the free throw, a rare miss for Becca from the free throw line, one of the Trojans' better free throw shooters. Just over 4 minutes into the opening quarter, SAU from right to left in blue. They lead Taylor 9-2, scoring the first 9 points of the game. Cabana to Nelson, back to Cabana up top. Trying to drive on Garrett down the right sideline, outside to right, way outside the arc, and the lefty buries a three from the far sideline. She missed her first triple. She hits her second one here. And SAU 2 of 4 from deep, and they've taken a 10-point lead over Taylor at 12-2. Garrett maneuvers into the paint, outside for a Bradbury three. Good, as she goes tumbling down to the floor after making the three-point basket. Kendall's three-point shooting has been a struggle at points this season. She was 0 of 3 on Wednesday, but it's her second try here and brings Taylor to within 7, almost halfway gone here in quarter one. Grace, left elbow, holding the ball over her head, outside to an open Cabana three, and that's another three-point try that's made for SAU. Their third one here of the afternoon. They are 3 of 5. And that's back to a 10-point lead for SAU. B-Books fakes, drives, a jump stop, backdoor cut Bradbury. She goes right in over Lair, but they call Bradbury for the charge as Lair drew it just with her heels outside the restricted area. First one on Kendall, the first one against Taylor. No, this is going to be changed. Yes, it will be a charge. It was initially called as a charge, and then there was a discussion between two of our officials, and then the official who made the initial call went with her initial ruling. It's back to a 10-point SAU lead, matching their largest of the opening quarter. And now the Trojans will apply pressure in the backcourt. Cabana, double team between Garrett and Books. The ball deflected out of bounds. It goes off of either A. Books or Garrett. And it'll stay here with Spring Arbor, to the disagreement of Taylor head coach Jody Martinez across from us. Anne-Marie Wright to get it into Cabana. Heaves it up the near side of the floor, and Lair will catch it. SAU able to break the press. Lair pivoting away, and she'll throw a mid-post left pass to Christina Grace. And now they spin it to the right side high, and Nelson. Back to Grace. Up top, Nelson, deep three. That one hits off the left side of the glass and nothing else. Nelson's first miss from three-point range. 4:30 to go, first quarter. Taylor down by 10, 15-5. B-Books trying to cut into the deficit, and she does, burying her three from the right side high. 5 for B-Books, and Taylor to within 7. A big three-point make for the Trojans, as they were 0 of 2 to start from three-point range, or just 1 of 3 to start from three-point range. Nelson trying to get going from 3, a right corner 3. That one long. And there's Abby Books for the rebound for the Trojans. Nelson made her first 3 to open the game. She's missed her last 2. Taylor from left to right and white, down by 7. They've trailed by as many as 10 here in quarter one, with 3:57 remaining to go in the opening stanza. Nelson giving Garrett plenty of space, not a 3-shooter. Becca Books is, and Lair defends her. B-Books holding, finds the cutting Bradbury up top, back out to B-Books. Down the left sideline, she'll float up. Nelson will snatch that pass out of the air. Good defense by the senior. She'll try to go end-to-end, drives right in for a right-hand layup. 7 first-quarter points for Nelson. She's almost outscored Taylor by herself. And it's back to a 9-point SAU lead at 17-8. 3.5 remaining in the first quarter. They're double-teaming Bradbury down low. Here's A-Books up top. Jets one to B-Books, right side circle. Lair defending her. B-Books stops mid-post right. Handoff to Bradbury. Now Lair guards her. Bradbury trying to turn the corner. She got underneath the hoop and threw it off the bottom of the rim, but was fouled by Ryan Lair. Second on Lair, the third one against SAU. 4 new Trojans will come in here after the first Bradbury free throw. First one for Kendall. Good. 4 for her. The new subs for the Trojans, Haley Stratman, Meredith Deckard, Sydney Huffman, Lauren James. The Books twins, Garrett and Aubrey Wright, exit for TU. The new subs in for SAU, number 30, Mary Liedul, and number 32, Tiana Feldposh. And Gabby Barnett back in there as well for Spring Arbor. Bradbury makes both. She's got 5. She has 5. B-Books has 5. And the Trojans back down by 7, 17-10. Cabana back to the near side, and Anne-Marie Wright up the floor near side to the newcomer Liedl. Cabana dribbling time away. Almost 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Taylor slides in their 3-2 zone. Feldposh bouncing to Barnett, who comes back in. 9 to shoot for SAU. Catch and shoot 3 from Cabana, trying to will it in, and that one's short. It's rebounded by Sydney Huffman, and now she's off to the races for Taylor. She'll hit the brakes up top. Deckard leans into a 3 and bangs it home off the back of the rim. Coming in off the bench, Deckard cans her 3, and the sharpshooter draws Taylor to within 4. Good-looking shot there from Deckard after she played just 2 minutes in the loss to Marion on Wednesday. Right corner, Feldposh. Taylor's 3-2 zone, now giving SAU fits in the half court. Feldposh, perimeter right. Huffman there marking her. Barnett fumbling with it. Up top, 7 to shoot. Bullets one down low to Feldposh. Double team. Up top, Barnett with a desperation 3 off the left side of the rim. But Feldposh will come in and rip the rebound away for SAU. And here's a fresh 30 to work with for the visitors. But again, they have to look into the eyes of that 3-2 zone D of the Trojans. SAU spinning it around the arc. Near side, Anne-Marie Wright. The lefty's 3 is long. Long rebound, hustling after it. And gobbling it up will be Sydney Huffman. 1:52 to go in the first quarter. Bradbury trail 3 to make it a 1-point game. Hits off the front rim and right into the arms of Anne-Marie Wright for SAU. 1:43 remaining in quarter number 1. Taylor down by 4. They've trailed by as many as 10 here in this opening stanza. Feldposh dribbling around the arc. Lidul comes out as an outlet up top. Down low to the cutting. Feldposh rips the pass away from Stratman. Being hounded by James. 11 to shoot for SAU. Lidul cut off to the baseline. Feldposh drives, dumps it down low to Barnett. And James fouled her on the arm to prevent an open layup there for Gabby Barnett. Second foul for Taylor, the first one against Lauren James. Gabby Barnett to the line for 2. On the year, she is 4 of 6 from the line. And her first one will careen off the front of the rim short. Kiara Nieto comes in for TU, so all players on the floor right now for the Trojans, all subs. Rachel Nelson returns for Spring Arbor, replacing Anne-Marie Wright. As Wright gets her first break, and Barnett will make the second free throw after missing the first. That increases the Spring Arbor lead up to 5. They've led by as many as 10. They scored the first 9 points of this game. Huffman drives. Stratman all day to shoot from perimeter left. That was halfway in and out. Nieto tried to back tab it out, but the ball was intercepted by Cabana for SAU. 1:05 remaining in the opening quarter. Spring Arbor from right to left. Thought about a 3 was Feldposh. She'll go mid-post left to Barnett, who got away with the travel inside. They spin it around the arc. Cabana's rainbow 3 is good. Her second make from three-point range. SAU 4 of 11 from downtown, and their lead quickly goes back to 8 at 21-13 with 45 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Deckard maneuvering. Perimeter right to Stratman. Up top, Huffman drives and kicks. Deckard catches the ball to her knees. She'll still pull the trigger and still hit it from the right side arc. A pass that was at her knees. Deckard fumbled with it and got it back and cans a perfect 3 from perimeter right. About a second between game and shot clock. Taylor to within 5. Nelson driving baseline left. Nieto cuts her off. SAU spinning it around the arc. Feldposh, perimeter right. Here's Barnett trying to go up and under on Stratman, and she traveled with it. The first turnover for Spring Arbor here of the opening quarter. Taylor has turned it over 4 times. And now down 5 with 14.9 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Taylor can hold for the final shot after trailing 9-0 to start the game off. Huffman will bring it through the center jump circle. James will dribble up top. Now 5, now 4. James pulls up top of the key. Rainbow shot. Will miss short, rebounded by Barnett down low, and Cabana will not be able to get a shot off. But a perfect opening quarter for Spring Arbor. They jumped out to a 9-0 lead. They made 53% of their shots from the floor, and after one, they lead 21-16 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Taylor with the ball to start quarter number 2. Just 2 starters on the floor for the Trojans to start there. Becca Books and Kendall Bradbury. Huffman, Deckard, and James, the other 3. Deckard out perimeter right to Bradbury. She'll drive just right around Barnett. Left-hand layup is good off the square. Bradbury took a calm, controlled left-handed layup, and quickly Ryan Frost will try to bring in post reinforcements for SAU. So Taylor to within 3, close as they've been since falling behind 9-0 to start the contest. Holding up top is Lidl. James guards her in the man-to-man. Back to the cutting, Anne-Marie Wright. Right side screen is Feldposh. Now James switches to her. 9 to shoot with Nelson. To the corner it goes to Feldposh on SAU's first possession of quarter 2. 5 to shoot. Tough shot from the post, or from the wing is good, just inside the arc. Rattling it in is Anne-Marie Wright. She now has 7. So each team scores on their opening time with the ball. And Taylor finds themselves back down by 5, 23-18. A minute into quarter 2, and Bradbury traveled with it as she tried to get away from Barnett, perimeter left. Grace Shoebridge, she comes in and she replaces Gabby Barnett. Shoebridge, a 6-foot freshman, replacing the 6'1 junior in Barnett. Here's Nelson. B-Books guards her in the near side corner. A minute into the second stanza, SAU leads 23-18. They've led the entire way. Feldposh, perimeter right, around the corner to the near side, and not taking 3. Lidl pulls up. James might have got a piece of the shot, and then she rebounds the miss. James accelerating up the left side of the floor, hits the brakes and waits for reinforcements. Bradbury, perimeter right. B-Books trying to get away from Nelson, who cuts her off baseline right. B-Books picks up the dribble, looking for help, and it's Deckard on the near sideline. James up top, right side screen by B-Books. James keeps that dribble alive, down the lane, kicks out to an open Sydney Huffman, whose 3 is just off the left side of the rim. Nice little attack from James, and Huffman just missed the open look from 3. A minute and 50 seconds into quarter number 2. SAU with the ball. They lead by 5. Bounce pass to Nelson in the corner has been cold from 3, and that continues with an air ball from the near side. After hitting her first 3, Nelson has missed her last 3 in a row, and they get Huffman for a double dribble. No, they get a hand check, on Feldposh. So a hand check foul on Feldposh with both hands. It looked like initially from the call from our head official, or from our official on the far side, it looked like it was a double dribble. But now Aubrey Wright and Abby Books come back in for Taylor. That leaves Deckard as the only non-starter out there for the Trojans. She replaces Garrett. Wright down the left side of the lane, picks up the dribble, being hounded defensively by Feldposh. Her low pass tapped away by Anne-Marie Wright, and she tiptoes the far sideline and keeps it in. Wright will bullet one to the far side in Cabana, and then to Nelson, who trails the play. 2:20 gone into the second quarter. SAU with the rock. They lead by 5, 23-18. Taylor in the man-to-man defense. Feldposh drives, cut off at the elbow by Deckard. Now 9 to shoot for SAU. Cabana near side, driving, baseline left. Bradbury and Deckard double teamer. Her pass deflected and intercepted by Abby Books of TU. Second turnover for SAU here in the opening half. Taylor has turned it over 5 times. 23-18, the Spring Arbor lead. Taylor trying to find their second bucket here of this second quarter. B-Books up top. She was pushed down by Anne-Marie Wright. Wright was right there in her hip pocket and then just kind of collapsed on B-Books' knee. And that's what sent Becca down to the court. Ali Gurka in for the first time for Spring Arbor. She replaces whom? That'll be Feldposh. B-Books to get it in. 3 minutes into the second quarter, Taylor down by 5. They've trailed the whole way. They've trailed by as many as 10. That was twice in quarter 1. Abby Books up top. Meredith Deckard fakes a 3, pulls up, 15-foot jump shot. That one short off the right side of the rim, and that's Meredith's first miss from the floor today. Spring Arbor will slow it down with Cabana up the near side of the floor. Taylor in the 3-2 zone, spinning, mid-post left jump shot on the way, and clean by Grace Shoebridge off the SAU bench. Good-looking shot from Shoebridge and a quick 4-0 answer for SAU. But Deckard open 3, bang, perimeter right. So Meredith has missed her only 2-point shot. She's made all of her 3s. Meredith with 9. That leads the game in scoring and quickly brings Taylor back to within 4. Taylor looks for a travel that won't come as Cabana dribbles away from Abby Books. Down the lane into Bradbury. Her floater is good off the glass. Cabana with 8 to lead SAU. And it's back to a 2-possession game for Spring Arbor. They lead by 6. Books in the paint, tapped away by Gurka, snatched away by Deckard, floating to A. Books through a double team. Wright, open, left side high three, perfect for Aubrey Wright. First shot from Wright this afternoon, and Taylor's threes falling beautifully here in this second half. They're now 50% from long range and have made it a one-possession game, down by 3. Gurka from the left elbow, Deckard bumps her, but Gurka keeps her position and doesn't fall over, which would have been an easy foul call. She has it back in the near corner, pulls from 3 and airballs it, and it's pulled off the floor here by Becca Books. 27-24, and let's make it 5 in a row for Aubrey Wright, and that draws Taylor to within 1. A timeout here for Spring Arbor and Ryan Frost. A 30-second timeout for the visitors. They've seen what was once a 10-point lead now trimmed down to 1 with 5:19 to go here in quarter 2.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
The bench has come to help Taylor out today. They have outscored the SAU bench 9-2. That is Meredith Deckard outscoring Grace Shoebridge, the only reserves that have scored today for Spring Arbor. Deckard out, James back in to replace her. A 1-point SAU lead after a 5-0 burst by Aubrey Wright. Nelson, left elbow, down low to Shoebridge, up and over B. Books, and it's back to a 3-point lead for SAU as Shoebridge has all 4 of her points here in this second quarter. James on the near side of the floor. Taylor down by 3, 29-26, but a low entry pass is tapped away, and here comes Cabana racing to the other end. She's tied up, and they get Cabana for the travel as Abby Books put that left hand on the ball, and that sent Cabana tumbling down to the floor. Taylor 50% from three-point range. Both teams shooting at a 50% clip. Taylor at 50 on the nose, SAU at 55%. Taylor can tie or cut the deficit to 1. Bradbury goes in, her shot blocked. She'll tap it to herself on the perimeter left. Aubrey Wright, high left side, has scored Taylor's last 5 points. Taylor with the ball down 3, trying to tie it for the first time since it was 0-0. Off-balance pass, too far from Bradbury to Books, and then Becca dribbled it on the baseline, and this ball will go back to Spring Arbor. Just like in the last 3 games for the Trojans, turnovers have been their bugaboo. They've turned it now over 7 times here in the opening half. After turning it over 20-plus times in the loss Wednesday at Marion, Cabana's straight line 3 short off the left side rim. She's now 1 of 4 from three-point range. Still a 3-point deficit for Taylor. Wright will just go right to the cup and will miss a left-handed layup, and then B. Books will tie up Nelson. And the possession arrow goes back to SAU. The whistle came in right before Books ripped it right out of the grasp of Nelson. 3:57 to go in the opening half. And Wright will break the pressure in the backcourt for Spring Arbor. Gurka near sideline. Taylor slides into their 3-2 zone. Nelson far corner. Back to Cabana. And then out near side to Gurka. Taylor wants to force SAU into threes. They are just 4 of 14 from three-point distance. Nelson turnaround from the free throw line is perfect again. First points for Rachel Nelson since the opening quarter. She's got 9 to tie Deckard for game-high honors. And SAU pushes that lead after it was once 1, or the lead back cut down to 1 is now back to 5. James high right side, dribbling with her left hand against the SAU man-to-man defense. Far sideline, Abby Books. Nelson defends her. Nelson will bump Abby Books on the drive on the baseline left. First on Nelson, third against SAU here in the quarter. And Ryan Lair comes in for the first time here in the second quarter for Spring Arbor. She replaces Gurka. 3:13 remaining in quarter number 2. Taylor has not led once today. They fell behind 9-0 to start. They trail by 5 here after cutting the deficit to 1. B. Books a deep 3. That one halfway down and out. Aubrey Wright had it in her grasp and then just couldn't haul it in before it was pulled away by Ryan Lair of Spring Arbor. 3:02 remaining in the opening half. Far sideline. This will be Cabana back up top to her. Bouncing up top to Lair. Taylor forcing SAU to try to take threes. Cabana will pull from the high right side and rainbow that one in. Cabana, 3 of 5 from three-point range. She's our first double-figure scorer with 11. And a quick burst here for SAU. It's a 7-0 run. They've pushed the lead back to 8. 34-26 to go in the game, 2:35 to go in the half. B-Books fakes, drives on Lair, mid-post left, step through over the shoulder. Defender is good, and the foul. And there's the third foul on Ryan Lair. And that's the second time Books has taken her to the rack. Actually get it on Anne-Marie Wright, excuse me. So Lair still with the 2 personals. And coming in will be Sierra Lips for SAU. She replaces Wright, who's got the 3 personals. And Meredith Deckard comes in to replace James for TU. B-Books 0 of 1 from the line today. Taylor is a team 2 of 3. And Becca will miss this one off the left side of the rim. Some rare misses at the line today for Becca Books. 2:20 to go in the second quarter. Taylor has trimmed the lead down to 6. Lips in for the first time, a freshman from Hamilton, Ohio. Holding his shoe bridge outside the arc to Nelson. Trying to drive, she'll fumble the ball away. Taylor almost intercepted, and as Nelson tried to get it back, she dove in and cut the legs out from Abby Books. Second one on Nelson. Fifth one against SAU, excuse me. Spring Arbor head coach Ryan Frost not happy on the far sideline across from us. Trying to argue that the same play had happened earlier in the contest, and the foul was not called then. So it's Abby Books to the line. Nelson comes in and she'll get an explanation from the head official, from the official that made the call after Frost gave that same official an earful. Two shot trips for Books as Taylor in the bonus with the final 2:07 of the second half, or the second quarter. And Abby makes the first one for her first points of the day. This is to make it a 4-point game. And Abby makes both. And Taylor makes a 34-30 deficit here in the second quarter. They cut it to 1, and has since been outscored 7-4. Laird, that pass will be stolen away by Aubrey Wright. She'll go right into Laird. Step through move. Aubrey Wright off the glass for a steal and a hoop. 7 second quarter points for Wright, and Taylor's drawn to within 2. The pressure has been getting to SAU here in the backcourt. They break it here with Cabana directing traffic with the left hand, dribbling with her right. Lips will spin it to Lair, left side circle. B. Books defends her in the man-to-man. Lair cut off. Nelson now guarded by Abby Books. 95 seconds left. Bradbury taps away from Nelson. She'll dribble into the backcourt, and there's no over and back violation. To the near corner, and Lair with 5 to shoot. A desperation 3 is hits off the glass and rebounded by Aubrey Wright. Taylor with an opportunity to tie or take their first lead of the afternoon, down by a deuce. With 1:19 to go here in the second quarter. Deckard left-hand dribble back to the near side of the floor, and B. Books. Bradbury posting, gets it, drives right around Shrewbridge. Left-hand layup will just die off the rim. Bradbury 2 of 7, but she has had some looks that just would not drop for her today. About a minute to go in the second quarter. SAU clinging to a 2-point lead. Nelson far sideline. They'll spin it around the arc to Lips at the top of the key. Right-hand dribble, far sideline. Nelson, Abby Books almost poked it away. Nelson gets it up. Her pass deflected to Lair with 10. Near side, Cabana with 8. Driving on right. Back tap from Aubrey Wright, and they get Aubrey for the reach-in. First foul against Taylor here in the second quarter, and the first one against Aubrey Wright, who has had a splendid second quarter. After not taking a shot in, or after not making a point in that second stanza, she's 7 of 7. Nelson and Shoebridge exit for SAU. Barnett back in, along with Feldposh. 30 seconds to shoot as the shot clock resets. 44.5 to go here in the second quarter. SAU with the ball. They lead by 1, 34-33. Make it 34-32, excuse me. About 13 seconds between game and shot clock as Cabana will give it off to Lair high right side. She'll shoot Cabana in with her right hand, bouncing to the left elbow, and Barnett. Tied up, knocked out of her hands by Bradbury. Diving on the floor is Books, and the held ball will send it back to Taylor as Abby Books pounced on that ball. So now with 23 1/10 of a second, Taylor can hold for the final shot of this opening half, trailing by 2. So the scoreboard has given Taylor 1 extra point. It's 34-32. So we'll see what Taylor wants to dial up here for the final 22 seconds of the opening half. They trailed by as many as 10 in that first quarter. They have yet to lead today. They have yet to tie the game outside of when the game was scoreless, which doesn't count as a tie in the scorebook. Now 9 to play. Bradbury right side arc was 7. With 6, she'll drive with the left hand, bouncing to the weak side, up, and the basket was no good, but going to the line twice will be Becca Books, as she was cut out from her legs, were cut out from underneath her on the block left. Tiana Feldposh, her second, and 2 free throws for B. Books to tie it with 3 9/10 of a second to go in the second half. B. Books 0 of 2 from the line today. This place would have gone nuts if she could have banked that one in. It just rolled off. The first one was missed off the rim, and Becca 0 of 3 at the line today, one of the better free throw shooters for the Trojans this season and throughout her career. So the best Becca can do is make it a 1-point game, which she does, making the second. She's got 8 points, and Taylor down 1 with 3.9 seconds left to go in the second. Cabana in the backcourt will fling it up the floor with 1. The shot will go off before the buzzer. It hits off the glass. Taylor looking for a foul as Aubrey Wright jumped in and collided with lips, it looked like, on the desperation try from the far sideline. Ryan Frost, the head coach of SAU, went all the way to the other end of the floor looking for a foul that would not come. So an entertaining opening half here for both Taylor and SAU. The Spring Arbor Cougars scored the first 9 points of the game. They led by 10 in that opening quarter, but they are holding on to a 1-point lead here at halftime, leading the number 10 Trojans 34-33 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You got to have the music that you listeners listen to.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
We're back here inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnston with you. This is the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and at the break, it has been all Spring Arbor here this afternoon as they lead the number 10 Taylor Trojans 34-33 at the break. SAU scored the first 9 points of the game and built 2 10-point first-quarter leads, but Taylor was able to chip away, thanks in large part to a 5-0 burst by Aubrey Wright, cut the deficit down to 1. SAU would answer with a 7-0 answer of their own to push the lead up to 34-26. And then Taylor would score the final 7 points of that second quarter. But Becca Books left 3 points at the free throw line. She went 1 for 4. And Taylor trails by 1 here at the break. Spring Arbor shooting the ball beautifully from inside the 2-point arc. And overall as well, they're 14 of 27 from the floor. They're just 5 of 17 from 3 after going 4 of 11 in that opening quarter. They went to the line just twice. They made 1 of them. Taylor as a team was above 50% for a good portion of that opening half as well. They finished the first half shooting 46% from the floor. They were 11 of 24. They were 6 of 13 from 3 and 5 of 8 from the line. Spring Arbor had one player in double figures. That was Gracie Cabana with 11. She has a good shooting game going. 4 of 6 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. 2 rebounds and 3 assists in her 18 minutes of work. Rachel Nelson has 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting. She's 1 of 4 from 3 and also has a team-high 4 rebounds. Anne-Marie Wright has 7 points, but she was plagued with foul trouble in the opening half as she picked up her 3rd personal foul about midway through that second quarter. Gabby Barnett has 3. Ryan Lair held scoreless, missing the only shot that she took in the opening 20 minutes. Sierra Lips and Allie Gurka, along with Christina Grace, Mary Lytle, and Tiona Feldposh, all played in that first half but did not score. Grace Shoebridge has 4 points off of the Spring Arbor bench. For Taylor, they're led by one of their reserves, Meredith Deckard, 3 of 3 from three-point range for a team-high 9 points. Becca Books follows her with 8. Kendall Bradbury and Aubrey Wright each have 7. Aubrey, all of 7 of her points, came in that second quarter. Abby Books has 2. No other players have scored for the Trojans. Lacey Garrett scoreless. Same thing for Lauren James, Haley Stratman, and Sydney Huffman. But just like the last couple of games for the Trojans, they were plagued by turnovers in that opening half. They turned it over 8 times. Spring Arbor 6. The big difference, though, neither team able to score a point off of the other team's miscues. Assist numbers pretty good for both teams. 9 assists for Spring Arbor, 6 for the Trojans. We'll take a break. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half here from Odell Arena. This has been the BSN Sports Halftime Report. At the break, it's Spring Arbor leading the number 10 Taylor University women's basketball team by 1, 34-33, here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit. Sit in on a class? Go to chapel. Spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Some second quarter stats as Taylor outscored SAU 17-13 in that second quarter. The Trojans are going 5 of 11 from the floor in the first half. In the first quarter, they went 6 of 13 in the second, and also went 2 of 5 from 3. Spring Arbor 6 of 12 from the floor. They were just 1 of 6 from 3-point range. The big stat there in the opening half was SAU's shooting inside the arc. They were 9 of 10 inside the arc, and just 5 of 17 outside of it. So it's no surprise to see Taylor go from the man-to-man defense, which they started into that 3-2 zone, and that kind of gave SAU some fits. About ready to go here for the third quarter. Starters back out there for both sides. Barnett, Nelson, Cabana, Wright, and Lair for SAU. Wright, Garrett, Bradbury, Books, and Books for TU. Spring Arbor will start. They go from left to right in blue. They lead by 1. They've led the entire way, and they've led by as many as 10. Cabana, our high score in the first half with 11. Garrett hounding her. Nelson, a bounce pass left side, gets right around Abby Books. Right-hand drive, too strong, and the ball be tapped out of bounds off of Abby Books. Aubrey Wright looks for a deflection off of Ryan Lair, who came flying in from the baseline right, but it'll stay here with the visitors from Michigan. 13 to shoot for the Cougars. Barnett gets it in from Nelson, left elbow extended. This one goes right past Nelson into the corner. She'll be hounded by Abby Books. Nelson wraps a pass around to Cabana with 7 to shoot. Cabana drives, gets away with a push-off, and there it comes from our official on the far side. First on Cabana, first against SAU here in the quarter. And with any type of bucket here, Taylor can take their first lead of the afternoon. Garrett has not played since the opening quarter. She'll dribble it to the front court here with Taylor going from right to left and white. Aubrey Wright, perimeter right, floating near side. Bradbury fakes a 3, drives on Barnett. She stops, an open cup lane to the cup, and then picked up the bounce. Bradbury near side of the floor, right side screen B Books, 12 to shoot. Far sideline Aubrey Wright hedging to her left, drives that way, floats near side with 8. 7, Abby Books, a contested 3 to give Taylor the lead, is missed off the back rim, but Bradbury knifes in and rips the ball away from Barnett. Faking and driving is Bradbury right through Lair, and they get Bradbury for the charge. Second time that Kendall's been called for the charge, and the second time that Lair has been the one to draw it against her. Second one against Kendall. And so each team commits a foul here on their first time with the ball. It remains a 1-point Spring Arbor lead just over a minute into quarter 3. Aubrey Wright will defend Anne Marie Wright across the timeline. Cabana, one dribble to the far sideline, and Lair, who was scoreless in the opening quarter. Barnett came up high on Bradbury, and that's what Taylor head coach Jody Martinez was looking for. Instead, The whistle will come against Lacey Garrett, trying to defend off the ball. That's Lacey's first and the second one against TU. Still a 1-point SAU lead. Barnett almost had it taken away by Bradbury. Cabana, left side screen Barnett. Bradbury will pounce on her on the help. Nelson between the circles, now uses the dribble with her right hand. Now switching to her left, now off to Cabana, left side high, then back to Nelson. Taylor forcing out on the three-point arc, trying to force SAU to take those long shots. 7 to shoot with Nelson, jabbing. Driving now is right, pulls up. Free throw line jump shot short, and a rebound there for Abby Books of Taylor. Another opportunity for Taylor to take their first lead of the afternoon, trailing by 1. A pitch back to Abby Books. Left-hand drive, near sideline to Becca. Thought about a 3-over layer. She'll drive right around her, step through, right-hand hook shot will dance off the glass and missed, but the ball tapped into the arms of Taylor's Aubrey Wright. Bradbury, high right side three for the lead is long, and there's Nelson for the rebound for SAU. Taylor has missed their first 2 tries from 3 here in this third quarter. And another opportunity for Spring Arbor to push their 1-point lead to either 3 or 4. 2.5 into this third quarter, a slow start for both teams. A couple of fouls, a couple turnovers, and all misses here so far for both offenses. Nelson flings one far side to Lair. She'll fire a 3 and swish it in front of her own bench. First made basket for Ryan Lair today, and a big one as that pushes the lead to to a 2-possession game for SAU. They go up by 4, 37-33. As Taylor has missed their first 3 shots here from the floor in this third quarter. Books stops at the free throw line, out to Bradbury, jabbing, gets space, pulls from 3, and Taylor's to within 1 on Kendall Bradbury's second triple of the afternoon. 10 for the All-American, and Taylor back to within 1, down 37-36. They have still yet to take a lead today, just over 3 minutes into this third quarter. Nelson near sideline. Abby Books her guards are in the man-to-man. Cabana got caught up in traffic coming off of an off-ball screen, but still able to come through and get the ball. Barnett holds right elbow. Lair calling for it. Hit a 3 the last time down. Jabs that left hand, dribbles with her right. Nelson to the top with 3 with 2. Pulls up from 15 feet. That one off target left, and Becca Books will snatch the rebound down for Taylor. Another chance for Taylor to take their first lead, trailing by 1. Abby Books, a 3 on the way, is missed on the near side, but Kendall Bradbury comes up with another rebound. Abby Books' floater will just miss off the back rim. Nobody boxes out Becca Books, and she's fouled by Cabana. Everyone turned and ran up the other side of the floor, and Becca Books went right in and snatched the ball away for the Trojans. The foul is on Cabana, her second. The second one against SAU in the quarter. Shoebridge comes in for SAU. She replaces Barnett. Taylor gets the ball into Bradbury. Long 2 from straight away. That one long off the back rim. That ball was launched into traffic, and Nelson into her. And the ball comes to Nelson in her hands for SAU. And Garrett will get whistled for the reach-in on the near sideline. That's the second one on Lacey. The third one against Taylor here in this quarter. Here comes Haley Stratman and Meredith Deckard in for the Trojans. They replace Becca Books and Lacey Garrett. 6:05 remaining in the third quarter. Taylor again has made it a 1-point game, close as they have been since falling behind 9-0 to start the contest. Nelson baseline right over Abby Books. Nope. Tapped around, and Bradbury will gobble that ball up with a left hand. Another rebound for Kendall Bradbury, her 5th, to go with 10 points. Taylor with the ball down 1 from right to left in white. SAU defends in blue. Deckard, plenty of space. She won't pull the trigger here. Up top, Bradbury fakes and drives. Right-hand floater for the lead. No. And there's the third charge called against Kendall Bradbury today, and all 3 have been drawn by Ryan Lair. This time, Kendall tried to float it up and over Lair, but then careened into her. It's the third on the Trojans' leading scorer, and she'll have to go to the bench. And Lauren James has come in to replace her. So Taylor in a tough spot here. With their leading scorer, Kendall Bradbury, sat on the bench with 3 personal fouls, one of the rare times in her entire career that she has garnered at 3 fouls at least. That's the 4th foul against Taylor here in the third quarter. 1 more puts SAU in the bonus. But the Cougars haven't been able to take much advantage. They lead by just 1. Their shooting has been just as cold as Taylor's here in the third. Shoebridge got away for a moment. They couldn't get to her in time. Nelson fakes and drives down the right side lane. A fake pass goes in, and she gets the basket as Stratman will be called for the block down in the restricted area. First scoring for Nelson of the second half. She's the second SAU player in double figures. She's got 11. And that's the 5th foul against Taylor in the quarter with 5:21 to go in this third period. SAU will be shooting free throws for the rest of the quarter. First trip to the line for Nelson. A deep breath for the senior. 1 extra dribble. And she'll miss this one long off the back rim, but nobody boxes out Shoebridge. She comes in for the rebound, but then Nelson has it taken away by Taylor. Trojans down 3. Deckard holds far sideline. Back up top to James. Again, the Trojans trying to cut into this deficit and tie the game for the first time all afternoon with their leading scorer, Kendall Bradbury, on the bench with 3 personal fouls. James between the circles. Nelson guarding her. James trying to set something up. Picks up the dribble, trying to find help. There's Abby Book's left side circle to tie the game over Lair. That one off the right side, but there's another offensive rebound, and it's Lauren James with the carom. She'll fire from 3. That one short. Hits the floor, and it'll be gobbled up by Shoebridge. James 0 of 2 from three-point range. The Trojans now 7 of 19 from three-point land. Still down 3, 4:35 to go in the third. SAU trying to add to that advantage. Cabana had a game-high 11 in the opening half, has yet to score here. She'll deal it around the arc. Shoebridge to Nelson, who scored the last time down the floor. James guards her. Now up top, it's Anne-Marie Wright, guarded by Aubrey Wright. With 4 to shoot, Wright goes in, and they get Aubrey Wright for the block just before Anne-Marie Wright traveled with it. Second on Wright, and with SAU in the penalty, after the Trojans were called for just 3 fouls in the opening half, they've been called for 6 here in the third quarter, and we haven't even played 6 minutes just yet. So that'll put Anne-Marie Wright to the line for 2. She's an 83% free throw shooter. SAU leading by 3 with 2 free throws here. And the first one good from the lefty, Anne-Marie Wright. Huffman comes in to replace Aubrey Wright. And it's one more for Anne-Marie Wright. This to make it a 5-point lead for SAU. And the lefty will hit both. 9 for her, on the verge of being the 3rd SAU player in double digits. 5-point deficit for Taylor. They've cut their deficit down to 1 a couple of different times. Back out to Stratman to make it a 2-point game with a 3, and Haley does just that. Triple for Haley Stratman from the high right side. And Taylor back to within a deuce, down 41-39 on their 8th made 3-point basket today. Lair being hounded by Abby Books. Taylor going to the man-to-man defense here. Wright guarded by Huffman. Shoebridge up top, holds the ball over her head, deals off to Wright. Contested lefty 3. Nope, short. Lauren James gets it, and Nelson gets called for an over the back. 3rd foul on Nelson, who's been a thorn in Taylor's side today. And a good box out there by the shorter Lauren James. Nelson 5'10 with long arms. James 5'7 with not as long of arms. She doesn't have short arms per se, just not as long as Nelson's. Taylor with the ball down to Deckard, dribbling, driving down the lane, puts that shoulder down, out to James. She'll fake a 3 and drive into the paint. Jump stop outside of Deckard with 15 to shoot. Deckard will back up Cabana. Now off to Huffman with 9, floating to the corner to Stratman with 7, with 6. Back out to Huffman, far sideline with 5, with 4. Stratman with 3. Her three-point shot is blocked by Shoebridge. Here comes SAU the other way. The Trojans half-court set all discombobulated there as they tried to tie the game at 41, down by just 2. Abby Books gives Lair plenty of space. Right side circle, Shoebridge. Stratman giving her plenty of room to work. Outside to Lair, who has a 3 here in the quarter. She'll fire over Huffman. That one is short, and there's another rebound for Abby Books. 2:50 to go in the third. Taylor down by a deuce. James fakes, trying to drive on Nelson behind the back dribble. Now she'll turn the corner out to Stratman, who fakes a 3 and drives on Shoebridge. Little flip from Stratman is too strong, and Nelson has the rebound, and she will cover that thing up like a precious gift. Taylor's gone cold here as of late. Just 2 field goals in their in their 12 tries here in this third quarter. SAU not much better. They've made 2 of their 9 attempts. Cabana being hounded by Deckard, too much, and they get Meredith for the reach-in. First on her, 2 free throws upcoming for Cabana. Aubrey Wright, Kendall Bradbury back in for Taylor, replacing Stratman and Abby Books. Nelson exits for SAU. Feldposh comes in for the first time here in this third quarter for SAU. 2 big free throws here for Cabana, who's a 73% free throw shooter this season. She's got 2 as they've been in the penalty, and she'll switch the first one, her first scoring of the second half. And now the subs come in. One more free throw here for Cabana to make it a 4-point lead. And she does that, ripping the net on both. 13 for Cabana. That's the high in the game. Taylor down 4. Quick to the floor, down low from James to Deckard. One dribble, try to get herself some space, but Cabana cut her off. Back pass was deflected out of bounds by Shoebridge on the Deckard attempt, trying to find Bradbury. Taylor with just 2 made field goals on 12 tries here in this third quarter. SAU 2 field goals on 8 tries. So neither team lighting the world on fire offensively here in this third quarter. Deckard gets it from Bradbury. She's yet to miss from 3. Cabana still closing out onto her. 2:02 to go in the third. Taylor with the ball, down by 4. James will try to create with 8. Down the lane, left-hand scoop off the high glass is too strong, and it's rebounded by Shoebridge of SAU. A good take there from James, just couldn't bank it in off the glass. And with 1:46 to go in this third quarter, SAU has seen their lead dwindled down to once a couple of times. They've had the answer every time against Taylor's attack today. Cabana, a high pass to Anne-Marie Wright, defended by Huffman, perimeter left. Near side of the floor with 7. Feldposh with 5. With 4. Near side to Wright with 3, with 2. And they will get the shot up. It's an air ball, and it will come the other way to Taylor. So the two teams have rough half-court sets here in this third quarter. And 1:23 to go in the third. Taylor with an opportunity to cut the deficit down to 1 or 2, trailing by 4. Again, each team has only made 2 field goals here in this third quarter apiece. Huffman will run the point for Taylor. Jump stops mid-post left. And Feldposh was leaning on Lauren James as she cut, and now James favoring that right knee just a little bit. That's the 4th one against SAU. The 3rd one against Feldposh. Wright, Cabana, and Shoebridge all exit. Nelson and Barnett and one more SAU player have come in. We can't see that number right now. It'll be Liedl. 70 seconds to go in the third. Huffman down the right sideline. Extra step to greatness. Tried to spin it in. It just spun off. And she had a little bit of a glimmer trying to bank it in. 61 seconds to go in the third. SAU with the ball leading by 4. They've led the entire way today. But each team has gone cold offensively here in the third. Back to Lair from Barnett. Lair shot at the rim. Missed. And they get James for the foul. And she is unhappy with that call. Second on Lauren, and 2 free throws coming for Ryan Lair, who is a 56% free throw shooter this season. It's her first trip here today. Trying to make it a 6-point lead with both. And she makes the first one, swishing it. Hit a 3 earlier in this quarter for her first points of the afternoon. She now has 4. She made the first. She'll miss the second long. It's tapped out, and the long rebound comes out to Meredith Deckard of Taylor. 5-point Taylor deficit, up the floor quickly to James. Far sideline pivoting, being defended by Feldposh. Deckard, high pass to the right block, and Aubrey Wright will drive on Lair. Stop into the paint, double team, kick out to James for a rainbow corner 3 that rattled halfway in and then bounced out. James 0 of 3 from 3-point range. The difference between the clocks is at about 4 seconds. With SAU with the ball leading by 5, it's been the biggest they've been able to get their lead here in this third quarter. Nelson being hounded by Huffman, crossing back to her right hand, right down the wide open lane, but she'll blow the wide open layup. Feldposh with the rebound, and then Bradbury fouls her, and that's Kendall's 4th. Kendall has not fouled out of an entire game in her career, and she just picked up her 4th personal. And Feldposh will go to the line for 2. She's 3 of 9 from the line this season, and the first one will barely get to the front rim. Not a lot of rotation on that Feldposh try. Lair comes in and gives her some words of encouragement. Trying to make it a 6-point lead for SAU. Feldposh backs up. She'll toe the line, take 2 dribbles, and fire the second one. More rotation this time, and this one goes in. First point for Feldposh today, and Taylor can hold for the final shot, down 6 with 8 seconds to go in the third. Huffman will run things here at the top of the key. Looks back to her right, holds the ball, backdoor cut to Bradbury, who blew right by Barnett, but then Bradbury will miss another layup, and Barnett will hold on to it. That's been the story of the day. Kendall 4 of 11 here from the floor, and she has had 3 or 4 looks right at the rim that have just danced off. We are through 3 quarters here from Odell Arena in Upland, Indiana. Spring Arbor looking to pull off their second top 15 upset of the year as they lead number 10 Taylor by 6 as we head to the 4th quarter here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greeks' specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greeks Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Starters on the floor for Taylor to start this fourth quarter. Down by 6 to Spring Arbor, a team that comes in 3-7. But they knocked off St. Francis of Fort Wayne, the 14th ranked team, to open league play. Wright drives and draws a foul on an aggressive take there from Aubrey Wright. Foul on Cabana of SAU. She's the leading scorer in the game with 13. Rachel Nelson has 11. Kendall Bradbury has 10. Deckard has 9, but no points since the first half. And Aubrey Wright will switch the first free throw. Her first point since the opening half. She's got 8. Aubrey 2 of 2 from the line Wednesday. 1 of 1 now. And 2 of 2 as that one stays down. So some Aubrey Wright free throws to start. They almost force a turnover in the backcourt as Lair holds far sideline. She'll let everyone in white run by her, then deal it off to Cabana. Near corner, Nelson guarded by Bradbury, who's playing with those 4 personal fouls. Cross-court fling, high in the air, and Lair comes down with it for SAU. Cabana right side circle. Taylor in the 3-2 zone, trying to force SAU to take those outside shots. They've struggled with them today. And a 3-second violation called against Spring Arbor and Ryan Lair. Excuse me. Neither team shot the ball well in that third quarter. SAU 2 of 10, Taylor just 2 of 16. As they were outscored 11-9 in that quarter. Wright fakes up top, driving on Cabana, outside to Books. Taylor down by 4 with the ball. Almost a minute into this fourth quarter. Garrett runs the weave up top. B. Books to make it a 1-point game. Long off the back rim. Bradbury taps into the air, and Aubrey Wright will come down with it for Taylor. Another offensive set. Bradbury, a 1-point try. Nope. High rebound. Wright baseline saves it into Abby Books as she was shoved out of bounds by Cabana. B. Books fakes. Lair falls down. B. Books will pick it up top to Garrett. Weaving into the paint. One extra step to greatness. She'll pass up a layup, and then B. Books will fire from 3 and hit. That play looked doomed multiple times. Aubrey Wright saves it. Lacey Garrett passes up an open layup, and B. Books cans a right side high 3 to draw Taylor to within 1. A 5-0 start to the fourth quarter. A timeout SAU. A 30-second break.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
So a 30-second timeout by SAU after Garrett passed open a wide-open layup and dished it out to Becca Books, who makes her second 3 of the day and brings Taylor to within 1. Nelson drives, and she traveled with that one from the near side corner. And another opportunity for Taylor to take the lead for the first time today. They trailed by 1 at the half. They trailed by 1 twice in the third quarter, and they're down by 1 right now, 90 seconds into the fourth. Garrett over to Books on the near side, driving on Lair, stops, try to draw the foul, won't get it. Garrett will try to attack Nelson. Now she backs it out. Now she re-engages. Garrett just dancing with it, picks up the dribble, left block, looking for help. She'll bounce it up top to B. Books. Right side screen, Bradbury with 10 to shoot. B-Books down the lane, over Lair, off the glass, and it'll just roll off. It's tapped around, a tie-up, and it'll be a juggle for the ball. Still loose in the air, and Barnett will come away with it. And the possession arrow was going SAU's way. There have been some weird possessions and bounces of the ball today in this contest between both teams. Still a 1-point lead for SAU. They have not given up the lead all day after jumping out to that 9-0 start. Wright almost careened into Anne-Marie Wright and almost got called for the foul. Taylor in the 3-2 zone. Wright, Cabana fakes a three near side. Nelson with 4 to shoot. Nope. Barnett taps into the air and she gets the offensive rebound for SAU, and now they'll reset. Nelson missed her last 4 threes, and then Anne-Marie Wright cans one from the left side of the floor. She's in double figures with 12, and SAU back in front by 4, 48-44. A big bucket out of the timeout for the Cougars. Books, Lair gives her space, and then B-Books gives off to A-Books. Around the B-Books screen, Abby does go right down the lane, a little right-hand float, good for 2. First field goal for Abby Books in her first points of the second half. Taylor back to within 2. As the Trojans apply pressure in the backcourt, 2 minutes and 55 seconds into our fourth quarter. Lair timeline to Barnett, holds between the circles and will bounce to Anne-Marie Wright near side. 2-point lead for SAU, 48-46. Taylor in the zone D. Nelson in the soft spot, bouncing up top to Cabana. Will bounce to the corner, leads Anne-Marie right there, and she's able to call it back in. 7 to shoot. Nelson up top has missed her last 4 threes and make it 5 as that one glances off the right side of the rim. Taylor can tie or take the lead here, down by a deuce. Garrett runs the floor, and now she'll give it to the left side high in B-Books. To the corner in Bradbury, defended by Barnett, around a B-Book screen. Stop, pop, jump shot, tie ball game from Bradbury. Timeout full for the Trojans as Bradbury, trying to stay in this game, playing with 4 personal fouls, has had a dismal day shooting. A full timeout on the floor. The game tied at 48 for the first time today. A full timeout for the Trojans. Here with 6:24 to go in the fourth.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Taylor has outscored Spring Arbor 9-3 here in this fourth quarter, and the last bucket by Kendall Bradbury has tied the game at 48. It's the first time that Taylor has tied the game all day. Aubrey Wright and Lacey Garrett apply pressure in the backcourt. Anne-Marie Wright will try to dribble away for another player named Wright behind the back dribble. Garrett will snatch it away. Here comes a 2-on-2. Wright with 9 points will wait for the rest of her teammates to show up. Here's a Becca Books 3, and Taylor leads for the first time today on Becca Books' third triple here in the afternoon. It's 51-48. Taylor on a 12-3 run to start the fourth quarter. And now another steal. Wright, and Anne-Marie Wright will foul her. After having a dismal 3 quarters, Taylor has come out shooting fire here in the fourth. And that's the fourth one on Anne-Marie Wright, who has hit some big threes today. 5:56 to go in the fourth. Taylor up by 3. Garrett down the lane, bumped by Nelson. She'll turn the corner to Bradbury inside the arc. Contested 2 off the rim strong, and Nelson's there for the rebound for SAU. Nelson putting together a strong day. A double-double for her, 11 points and 11 boards. She's our leading rebounder in the game by a mile. Anne-Marie Wright up top. Taylor in the 3-2 zone. Lair far sideline. SCU trailing for the first time today. And Abby Books will step in and intercept the pass, but she'll throw it away right near the timeline. And then Books steps in and says, I'll take it back one more time. So after she gives it away, she takes it back. And now she holds on the near sideline, does Abby Books. Garrett between the circles will dribble all the way to the right side. Nelson with her all the way back at the league logo. Knowing Garrett won't shoot a long two. Taylor looking for a foul against Shoebridge, who is defending Bradbury, and they'll get the foul here on the bump from Gracie Cabana on the Aubrey Wright attack. After Taylor was called for 9 fouls or 6 fouls in that third quarter, they have not committed a single foul here in the fourth, and SAU just picked up their third. As Cabana, they're one of their best outside shooters today, who's 3 of 5 from distance, just picked up her 4th personal. She'll be exiled to the bench. Lidl comes in to replace her. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth. Taylor with the ball up by 3. They've outscored SAU 12-3 here in the fourth. Fresh 30 to work with. A. Books fires a 3. That one short of the near side rim, but there's Lacey Garrett leaping amongst taller players for the rebound. B. Books in the near side corner. And now Garrett will run the half-court set up top. To Wright. Driving left hand out to B. Books for a big 3 if it goes, but it won't. Bradbury trying to tap it out. Nelson will have it down there amongst taller players. The 12th rebound today for Rachel Nelson to go along with those 11 points. Still a 3-point Taylor lead. SAU is just 29% from 3-point range today. Anne-Marie Wright in the corner. Shoebridge fumbling with it, and they get a wrapped hand there from Becca Books. That's the first on Becca. First on Taylor here in the fourth. Still a 3-point Taylor lead with 4:18 to go here in the fourth. Shoebridge, catch and shoot jumper. Good over Bradbury on an inbounds play. You can hear Taylor head coach Jody Martinez yelling in the background on the missed assignment. And that draws Spring Arbor to within 1, down 51-50 with 4:05 to go here in the fourth. Garrett wanted to give the back screen to Abby Books. She'll dribble up top. Left-hand dribble now to her right. Fires one up top to Aubrey Wright. Left side circle being defended by Lee Duel. Now 9 to shoot. Wright trying to take it herself. Stops. Far sideline to Abby Books. Now 6, now 5. Garrett with 4, driving around. Nelson, right-hand scoop is good for Lacey Garrett. First shot and the first bucket of the afternoon for Lacey Garrett, and Taylor goes back in front by 3. Taylor screaming for a travel that won't come, but then Lee Duel loses it out of bounds, and then Ryan Frost pounds that right hand in frustration on the soft seat across from us. So the full court pressure that gave Taylor fits and bunches at Marion on Wednesday, particularly in that third quarter, they've turned the tables on SAU here today with that full court press. Cabana back in for SAU. Lee Duel goes to the bench. Cabana playing with 4 fouls. Anne-Marie Wright playing with 4 fouls for SAU. Aubrey Wright almost knocked away by Lair. Lair right there in her shorts. And there's the 3rd foul against Ryan Lair. And the 4th one against Spring Arbor. Taylor 7 of 10 from the line today. They're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country if they can get into the penalty here with 3:22 to go in the fourth, leading by 3. The 3-point advantage, their largest of the afternoon, came on a B. Books 3 back earlier in this contest to go up 51-48. 3:13 and counting here in the fourth. Here's B. Books up top. Back to Garrett, perimeter right, looking Bradbury's way. They can't get it to her as Nelson helps on the double team. B. Books thought about a long 3, spins on Lair, trying to go up and under, pivoting. She'll bounce it outside to Aubrey Wright with 9. A head fake and drive right around Cabana to the cup. And it's good for Aubrey Wright, who's in double figures with 11. And Taylor takes their largest lead of the day at 5, 55-50. And again, that pressure in the backcourt. Cabana crosses. She'll fire it near side to Nelson on the arc. Taylor back in the zone. Cabana wanted to give it to Lair. They'll spin it near side as SAU. 2:38 to go in the fourth. Garrett knocks it away. Loose on the floor. Still fought for a held ball. And a timeout taken quickly by Ryan Frost. The Taylor faithful were looking for a jump ball call. Instead, it'll stay here with SAU on a quick timeout from Ryan Frost. And Frost will take the full timeout. He's got a 30 and a full. Taylor with 3 30s and 1 full. We'll take it with them. A good one brewing here with 2:34 to go in the fourth quarter. Number 10, Taylor, after trailing the entire day, has taken a 5-point lead, 55-50 over SAU, here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Taylor's been rolling with their starters here in the fourth quarter, and they've built up a 5-point lead at 55-50 with 2:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 11 to shoot for SAU after they took the full timeout. Cabana dribbling up top, right side screen, Shoebridge. Bradbury comes there to hedge. 7 to shoot for SAU. Anne-Marie Wright drives on Aubrey Wright, spins, little flip, no good, and they get Aubrey Wright for her third. Second one against Taylor here in the fourth. 2-shot trip here for Anne-Marie Wright, who was 2 of 2 today. And she'll try to make it a 3-point ball game with both. Excuse me. The first one for the lefty, good. Anne-Marie Wright, a nice day. 4 of 9 from the floor for 13 points. And SAU switches players out before the ball is thrown in, so no lane violation like what we saw in the Taylor game Wednesday at Marion, where the Knights were called for a lane violation. 5 fourth-quarter points for Anne-Marie Wright. She makes both, and the Taylor lead down to 3, 55-52 with 2:20 to go here in the fourth. Now SAU with backcourt pressure. 3 to get it across. Garrett weaves and dribbles it through. So Taylor just gets it across in time. Wright up top, down the lane, jump stop, step through move, right-hand shot off the glass. Will just spin around. It's tapped away, and then it'll be gathered in by Cabana of Spring Arbor. They go from left to right in blue. Taylor defends in white with 2 minutes to go in the fourth, and Spring Arbor down by 3 after leading for pretty much the entire ball game. Lair left sideline, Taylor in the 3-2 zone. Nelson almost threw it behind Cabana. Near sideline to Anne-Marie Wright, defended by Taylor's Aubrey Wright. Right on right. Here's a 3 to tie it from Anne-Marie Wright, as she does from the right side circle. Third made 3 for Anne-Marie Wright. She's got 8 of her 15 here in this fourth quarter. And the game knotted at 55 with 95 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Anne-Marie Wright defends Aubrey Wright up top. Abby Books high left side being guarded by Shoebridge. Here's Bradbury straight away. Lair defending her. Now 10 to shoot for the Trojans. Aubrey Wright around a Bradbury screen to the far sideline, and Garrett with 6 with 5. Lacey drives, left-hand shot around Nelson's no good. Lair gets it. She'll just save it before going out of bounds. 70 seconds left in regulation. Game tied at 55 apiece. A big 3 from Anne-Marie Wright. The last time down the floor, she has 3 of the 8 threes for SAU today. Now under a minute to go in the fourth. 55 seconds to be exact. Lair far sideline to Cabana in the corner. Back to Ryan Lair with 9 to shoot. Mid-post left Nelson. Turn, jump shot for the lead. No, spins off. And Abby Books hauls in her 6th rebound. 43 seconds left to go in the fourth. Game even at 55 apiece. And Taylor will take the timeout with 38.5 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. 23 seconds left to shoot. It's a full timeout taken by Taylor. Their final full timeout, they have 3:30s left to go. Taylor's played 3 straight games in overtime. They would like to win this game in regulation if they could. They'll have the ball out of the timeout, tied at 55 with Spring Arbor. 38.5 seconds left to go in regulation when we come back.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
.38.5 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Taylor with the ball, the game tied at 55 apiece after an Anne-Marie Wright three tied us at 55. B-Books will get it in to Lacey Garrett. There's 22 seconds to shoot, so there's about 15 seconds between game and shot clock. Aubrey Wright, high right side. B-Books up top, fakes a three, drives right down the lane, jump stop, trying to find help with 11 to shoot. She's got to get out of the lane quick. Abby Books, a bank shot too strong. It'll be head off the glass. Becca Books goes up. 21 seconds left and a foul on the floor. And now Taylor can hold for the final shot. That's actually going to be the fifth foul against SAU. And so two fouls coming here for the Trojans, or two free throws coming for Abby Books, who has had a struggle day at the line, just 1 of 4. 21 seconds left in regulation. That's the fifth one on Gracie Cabana. She fouls out. She's been one of the best offensive players for SAU today, particularly running the point. She'll take a seat with 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, and she's made 3 of their 8 threes. 2 free throws for Books. The first one hits the front rim and goes for Becca. Taylor back in front by 1, 56-57. SAU with 2 timeouts. They will take the timeout after the second free throw to advance. And Becca swishes the second and gives Taylor a 2-point lead. Full timeout taken by Spring Arbor. They will advance the ball to the front court with under a minute to go in regulation. And we'll see what Ryan Frost of SAU has to draw up on that dry erase board. His team down 2, 57-55 with 21 1/10 of a second left to go here in the fourth, here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria. It's our taste.
.21 1/10 of a second remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2 free throws by Becca Books, as she is Taylor's leading scorer today with 16. And Taylor has a 2-point lead, 57-55. SAU with the ball. They'll have Lair and Marie Wright. Lee Duell, who is replacing the fouled out Cabana, Nelson, and Shoebridge. Here's Lee Duell, guarded by Aubrey Wright. And they get Aubrey for the reach-in foul. 17 7/10 of a second left. Fourth one on Aubrey, third one against Taylor. Ball will come in from the near side this time, again with Anne-Marie Wright. Into Nelson. Abby Books guards her. They give it back to Lee Duell with 14 to play. SC with the ball down 2. Here's Wright. Her 3 tied the game earlier. Left hand with 8. Far pass. Nelson holds it in with 7. With 6. Nelson cut off by Books. Desperation fire. Driving in. Lee Duell back tapped away with 1 second. Is loose on the floor. And Aubrey Wright knocks the ball away. And Taylor escapes with a 2-point win today. 57-55 over Spring Arbor. Aubrey Wright put together one of her best games of the day. 11 points on 4 of 7 shooting, 5 rebounds. But that patented back tap by 14 and White saves the day for Taylor here this afternoon as they pick up their first Crossroads League win of the afternoon or the year. They improved to 9-4 and now are 1-2 in Crossroads League play. We're back with the Ivanhoe's post-game show after this commercial break.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You gotta have the music that you listeners listen to.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Welcome back here inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnston with you, now joined by the head coach of the Taylor women's basketball team, Jody Martinez. Well, it wasn't the prettiest game, but you won. So how'd you do it?
Well, a couple kids. Aubrey had a big layup. Lacey had a big layup. Kendall had a big step back shot. Just hit some shots in the fourth quarter that allows us to press. I mean, we have to press. Came out flat, which stuns me because the way we practiced last 2 days, I was excited about to see what kind of team, and then get out there, and that was not a good start. And thankfully our bench came in, gave us some momentum, gave us some lift. Meredith did a great job doing that as well, and pressure-wise, and then, the probability of stats. I mean, you think your starters are going to play the way you've seen play down in Tennessee and against Marion, and get that spurt. And so we finally had a positive spurt in that fourth quarter, finally, and created some turnovers. And give Spring Arbor credit. They controlled the clock. That's exactly what Bethel did against us. Control the clock, make us play defense, limit the penetration drill, or our offense where took charges on Kendall. And our players, the thing is, we talked about what they're going to do on defense. We talked about it. But my players still try to do things against what we talked about. And that's the frustrating part of the game, is we knew they were going to get in there. We knew that was called swarm. We knew they were going to come to the paint, take the charge, and we still try to go after them with that being the game plan. But you know what? We found a way, and I told them in the locker room, against Bethel, you didn't find a way to win. The other games went overtime. You guys got it done in regulation, so that's a step in the right direction. And, we're a work in progress. This is we got to find our identity with this team.
I don't know where to go after that.
Yeah, I probably answered all your questions, and hopefully now we can enjoy a little men's game here, and we'll go from there. But, like I said, I was proud of them that they found a way to win through all that adversity. Kendall playing with 4 fouls.
That might be the first time she's had 4 fouls the entire career.
And I felt like they tried to go at her too much, and that hurt their flow. So, in the end, it was our best strategy to keep her in.
Let's talk a little bit about Aubrey Wright before I let you go. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, but she has the big steal late. And we've seen her have that little back tap when players get away from her. It's kind of her patented move. What was it like to see her have a nice day today?
And that's what she's capable of doing. I mean, she's athletic. She's scrappy. She's our defender. And for her to get double digits, it's a bonus. We talked about the girl that was Gardner as the mismatch. We had to utilize it. She did make a mistake in the fourth quarter. I had just called a timeout. And there was a timeout. I'm not sure who called it, but I think I did. And I just said, in transition, we only want layups, wide open layups. If not, we're going to kill the clock, make them play defense. I don't want a shot until 10 seconds. And we come right down the court, and Aubrey forced up a 10-footer. And it's just like, guys, I just said it in the timeout. But that's the kind of stuff we're got to keep learning and just keep educating them. And just, it doesn't matter if they're freshmen or seniors, because we're making these mistakes. And this is our 13th game. So, countable game. We played 3 other things. 16 contests already, and we're still messing up. And you can interview the girls, man. I tell you what, practice, we drill them. And maybe we're drilling too much. I don't know. But you would think repetition drills would be retained, and it's not. So that's one of the other things I told them. I said, hey, you guys got to help coach me. Help me coach you guys. Help me as a coach what drills work, what's going to work for you guys. So. Because I've done the intensity, I've done the negativity, I've done the positivity, I've done mix, I've done everything that is in coaching 101, and none of it's working. So we got to figure it out.
At least you get to figure it out after a win.
Yes, makes you sleep better.
Good luck on Wednesday, and we'll talk to you on Saturday.
But as you know, I'm going to sleep good no matter win or lose as soon as I eat.
Yeah, you're all right. That's why you're so angry you don't eat. Yeah.
That's right. If I go eat, I'm good.
All right, go eat. Get out of here. Quit being angry. Go eat. See, I got him to smile. I got him to smile. We'll be back to wrap it up after this.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
Back here one final time on our women's basketball broadcast today as Taylor comes away with a 2-point win over SAU for their first Crossroads League win of the season. They had 3 in double figures, 4 in double figures. Becca Books led the way with 16. Aubrey Wright had a couple big stretches in that game as well. She also had the game-winning steal to close the game today. Taylor picks up their 9th win of the year. They're at Huntington on Wednesday before coming back here a week from today at 5 o'clock when they take on Goshen next Saturday. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get ready for the men's basketball game against number 23 Spring Arbor coming up here on the Trojan Sports Network. Until next Saturday, we'll talk to you next Saturday before the women's team takes on Goshen here on the Trojan Sports Network.